What's good with y'all boys? Ace the Bandit back again. Today, I just want to make a follow-up video to my last video. You guys showed a lot of support and I really appreciate that. And to be honest, I was thinking about something. I was talking to my friend DNZ earlier and I was saying how people also have a problem with other sports whenever it comes to being boring. If you don't know the context before this, I did a video on Khamzat Chimaev and why people thought that grappling is boring in an MMA match. Dominant grappling, or at least like, just go watch the previous video. I pointed out that there's people who don't like boring stand-up fights, and I thought of a really good example to myself. In certain boxing matches, there's certain times where the audience feels robbed because the boxing matches weren't as action-packed as they were advertised to be. So I'm just gonna say like the boxing types that I personally don't like and I find boring, because if you guys just think that it's just like me as a casual who doesn't like grappling, I could kind of, you know, give you guys this as well so you guys can see. I don't know if y'all could call me a casual for not liking striking. Someone's gonna do it, but whatever. The first type of boxer that I find very boring are runners. People who keep their distance throughout the fight. And I get keeping your distance so that you could, you know, find your range and stuff like that. But these people, they stay on the outside. They stay out of range, so they won't be able to engage in any action.
This is certainly not Devin Haney putting on a masterclass by any stretch.
They don't want to fight. It's kind of weird. They do like this like Taekwondo point style fighting where they'll like land a jab and then for the rest of the round they're trying to run it off.
Let the fight go. Good hook. Good combination.
You know, over these first two rounds, we talked a lot about Devin Haney not throwing a lot of punches.
Many people don't like that. A primary example of that is Devin Haney. William Skull and Devin Haney both did the same type of fighting style, both to different results. It's not even like a winning formula, but a lot of people feel like they got robbed or or they've been cheated out of like an actual good fight. So that's one of the most boring types of boxing that people like to point out all the time. Another type of boxer that people do not like, including myself, is excessive clenchers. I can think of a bunch of professional ones, but the most, people are gonna really call me a casual then whenever I say this, but the one that I could think about in my head right now is the Tommy Fury versus KSI fight, where once again, I was saying kind of like the distance and the point karate fighting and stuff like that, kind of like MVP. Really poor MVP, if MVP didn't know distance management. Anyways, what would happen is both of these people, they'll fight. Oh, wait, I don't know if yeah, there we go. They'll fight. KSI will be here and he'll move forward, and Tommy would also try to move forward with his jab. So they'll just hold each other for the next 10 minutes and they'll do like this like hug out dance.
Tommy Fury, let's go!
You see, I mean, I guess technically that's kind of like, if y'all want to say that that's grappling and stuff like that, and I still am a casual, then that's fine. But I really don't like basically hugging matches like that. I understand whenever people get wobbled and they kind of need to reset. I understand that, but excessive hugging is one of the most boring things to watch. And trust me, everybody, including KSI, because he thought that he won that fight, which I could see it. I'd probably give it a draw. Everybody felt robbed that night. You know what, speaking of, since I'm on the topic, I don't really care for some type of point fighters. And when I say point fighters, I don't just mean like someone who's just like very smart and they know how to like score rounds and stuff like that for themselves so that they can win a decision. I kind of mean like they will, once again, do like the Taekwondo style where they'll jab, go to the body, and then they'll back off. And they'll do that and they'll reset. So they'll only hit once or twice. They don't throw any combinations. It's not like obviously not every single fight is gonna have to be like a dog fight and stuff like that, but some of these point fighters, they're kind of boring in my opinion. I don't really like that type of style. Another style that a lot of people find boring is defense merchants. Now, I'm just using the merchant stuff because I think it's kind of funny, like whenever people call Sean Strickland a jab and teep merchant. So there's defensive specialists. Sean Strickland is also a defensive specialist, so it's kind of funny that I say that. But Some people don't like them. They point out Floyd Mayweather as like an example. I don't think that he's like the greatest example, but I understand why people say that. Some people are just so skilled that it just becomes kind of like boring. They don't face any adversity because they're playing it so safe, and they're just focused on mostly defense that they don't even do any offensive moves and stuff like that. And I can understand why a lot of people find that boring personally, including myself sometimes. The next two, because there's not a lot of styles in boxing that are uninteresting to me. A lot of them bring the action, but these are people who distinctly don't bring any action. I kind of have like two types of these people. There's like the people who don't punch during the fight. Like they refuse to throw a punch for some reason. They throw like 12 punches through 3 rounds for some reason, or 8 punches for 1 round, 6 punches for the other, and then maybe they'll really go crazy and spend it all and go 13 punches for the following round. Like people like that. I also kind of call them like low courage fighters, because like usually fighters, professionals, after they get like knocked out and like it kind of destroys the aura of their invincibility, then they kind of stay away and they get like very cautionary, and it kind of becomes so cautionary that they don't go for any finishes or anything like that. I think like a primary example of that is Anthony Joshua after he lost to Andy Ruiz. A lot of people are saying that he's never been the same after that, and he went from a destroyer to a very cautionary fighter. And to be honest, I feel like those types of fighters are extremely boring. in certain, I say all this just to say, in certain fights, not in every single fight. Some of these fighters who do certain things like this, they can make entertaining fights. Some of them, they know how to make entertaining fights. When I say these people's names, I don't want to like disrespect anybody or anything. I understand that they really want to get the win and stuff like that. But I don't know. This is just like another video, just another one to put in the upload section. So if you guys agree, disagree, or just want to talk about it, just leave a comment. Thank you. See y'all later. Peace.